and they found that they went to 180 pull-ups, which is incredible. It's a near doubling. Now, this is crucial. The tube can't be so cold that it causes vasoconstriction, because then the cold won't pass from the tube to the hand and to the core. But if it's the right temperature, it's neither too hot nor too cold, that cool from the cold tube passes into the hand, these so-called palmar regions, and then cools the core, and in theory, by lowering body temperature, would allow the person or the athlete to do more work. And indeed, that's what they saw. That subjects could do on their first day with no cooling about 100 pull-ups across the time frame that they had. Then they came back and did the cooling. They did it the very next day, which was they started cooling after every other set. The person would just hold the cold tube, and they found that they went to 180 pull-ups, which is incredible. It's a near doubling. And by doing this repeatedly over several sessions, over several weeks, they quickly went in the cooling group from a maximum of somewhere between 180 and 200 to 600 pull-ups in the equivalent amount of time.
Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking tips and tricks to improve your workout, basically drastically improving the volume you're able to achieve during your workout. And as you guys know, the more volume, the bigger your muscle will actually be getting size-wise. So, how do you do it? Well, in a nutshell, you need either cold water or a cold surface somewhere between 58 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a cool temperature, which will allow it to actually permeate into the body, into the blood, cooling your muscles down rapidly, allowing you to triple or even quadruple the results you'd be getting with your normal exercise. Now, this should be applied to either your face, the palms of your hands, or the soles of your feet. Now, these are the most receptive areas on the human body. Now, I prepared a couple different ways to show you. I'm just gonna do a couple different arm workouts and show you 3 different ways. Way number 1 is with a bowl of water with a little bit of ice in it, not too much, just to get it to the right temperature. Way number 2 is going to be with a cool towel. And way number 3 is just going to be wrapping my hands around a couple of water bottles that have been in the refrigerator. These are the easiest methods that I have been able to find anyways, but let's take a look at it. Now I'm stopping just a couple of reps short of failure. I'm going to put my hands in the cold water here. Make sure your bowl is mostly full of cold water. Add just a couple ice cubes, and then make sure there's room in between the top of the water and the top of the container, because obviously when you put your hands in there, there's going to be some displacement occurring. So after about, give or take, 10-15 seconds, take my hands out, shake them off, dry them off. Now, I have rapidly cooled down my muscles via the bloodstream. Now they're ready to start firing on ATP on all cylinders. So, now we're going to go ahead and do biceps once again. Okay, once again, a couple reps short of failure, mechanical failure. Dip the hands in, about 15 seconds. By the way, it does feel really good. Shouldn't feel too cold. If it feels too cold, more than cool, then it's probably just too cold. If you're not sure, just stick a thermometer in it. Most people have a thermometer. Make sure you calibrate your thermometer first by sticking it in ice water and then twisting the knob, making sure it's at 0 to begin with. By the way, guys, take the hands out again, shake them off again, dry them off, and get ready to go again. Now, I should say, between your sets, you're looking for about 30 seconds between your sets if you're doing sarcoplasmic training or trying to get your arms bigger, essentially. You're looking for higher reps, something like 15 to 30, depending what you're trying to do. Typically, I would do like with this, 20 reps or something, then probably like 16, 17, and then decreasing by 3 or 4 reps every single time. With the cooling this way, I'm actually able to get a lot more reps. So well, you guys will literally see. Going again now. And dipping him again. Kind of the repetitive old nonsense, except instead of just catching your breath for 30 seconds or switching exercises, going to triceps or something, you dip your hands in the ice water, focus on deep breathing, nice and deep into your diaphragm nasally, mix it in there with a nitric oxide in your nose, dry them off again, and we're going to go for round number 4 here, see how we do. Obviously, whatever body part you're doing this for, you can use your palms. You don't necessarily have to, say for example, doing legs, you're doing quads or something. You don't have to dip your feet in a bucket of ice water. Cooling the palms is just fine because the blood all goes to your heart just the same, and it gets pumped around the blood all throughout the body, I should say, just the same. So just don't overthink it. Ooh, it feels nice when you're working out though. Surely does. All right, let's go for set number 5 here. And then one sec, guys. I just wanted to remind you that you can also just have 2 cold water bottles. You can just hold those guys in your hands like I'm doing. Squeeze. And the same thing, wait about 15 seconds. You can just put it on your foot if you happen to be barefoot. I don't know how you guys work out or where you do. And also, remember that towel I had put in the freezer earlier. When I was cold enough, I can just put it on my face. Oh, it's like a day at the spa almost, guys. It's real nice up in here. For about 15 seconds. And then finally, there's one more variation you guys can do. One sec. Now, I don't know how applicable this is because of how rapidly basically metal conducts heat, but I put my dumbbells right inside of the refrigerator for about an hour. They feel very cold. I'm going to try doing a set with them. This is a lighter weight, by the way, guys. Now, as to holding on to a cold object while you do it, I can only infer that this would increase the benefit, but I have to say, I do not know, because there's been no studies conducted with somebody actually holding a cold dumbbell and actually doing the movements like this. So I wouldn't be able to tell you guys, but I suspect it's probably an improvement. So anyways, remember guys, if you can, like this video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Only about 7% of people who watch my videos have. Leave a comment, as it's going to help the algorithm. And just, train smart, train intelligently, not traditionally, and of course, use science to your advantage. Every little bit counts. Don't forget, get your finger exercise in and help me out at the same time. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.